Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Star Wars The Old Republic Jedi Knight Edition. Now, when we left off, we had, well, freed Theron from his terrible ordeal at the hands of Revan, and now we have arrived at a flashpoint once again, and, of course, I am joined by my girlfriend Victoria, aka Bubbles.
Hello.
And we're going to be running through the Battle of Rishi Flashpoint. Now, hopefully this flashpoint will be reasonably quick, because personally I don't particularly enjoy the flashpoints that much. I don't mind fighting in them, but I feel like the story doesn't really advance that much.
Don't know if you can read me, but I've arrived.
We read you.
What a fascinating cutscene. I absolutely adore that cutscene. Great work. Yes. Literally, all he said was, "I arrived."
The jammer's in sight.
I've arrived. I've arrived. Oh, yes. Just get out the red carpet, Revanites. I've arrived. Oh, yes, exactly. I'm some sort of celebrity around here. Ah, well, we are going to obviously be taking out all these guys, but really? That was it? I mean, that's exactly my point. Every single time a flashpoint is done, except when they are a part of the overall story arc. When there's an overall story arc, like, for example, there is actually a flashpoint that focuses on Revan quite a lot. I think it's in the level 34 to level 38 range or something along those lines. I can't actually remember what it's called. I do know there is another one also focusing on him, which is called Tarol 5, but there's one either before that or after it, and it's incredible. It's a really good flashpoint, and that's the kind of thing I mean. But these flashpoints, the ones in Shadow of Revan, in general, I feel as though they're okay, they're perfectly fine. I don't mind the ones on Korriban and the ones on Tython that much, because they do actually let you see an iconic location in a desolate and sort of dilapidated fashion, which is really cool, in my opinion. I like seeing that kind of thing actually happen, because, I mean, it's happened with other MMOs, and in general, they don't allow you to revisit the areas as they once were, which I actually find a little bit sad. But in this, of course, it's self-contained. It's in flashpoints, so you can always go back to Tython or to Korriban and actually see those locations in their original states, which I actually quite like, because changing the game world to be, well, destroyed in some fashion or another permanently, that is quite a dramatic move, and sometimes it can result in being more annoying than actually being kind of cool. So I think it's pretty nice the way they've done things, but obviously, for the most part, I feel as though fighting millions of Revanites is probably not the most thrilling thing, especially considering, well, there's not much story here. I mean, the story is to prevent, I would say, Revan from getting a foothold on Rishi, and to prevent the battle from spiraling out of control, because of course right now it's going to be spiraling out of control pretty bad if we are not going to actually succeed here. If we don't succeed, then we will not destroy the communications transmitter, and maybe not even warn our fleets of the danger. So yeah, you can imagine that it's going to be absolutely just a travesty for us to fail here, but it's unlikely that's ever going to happen. So yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to, well, push onward. We just have to push onward in the war against the Revanites, and we will be eventually accessing a fenced area. I wonder whether they have fencing. Alright, well, I haven't seen any fences so far. I've seen a lot of fencing, but I haven't seen any fencing. Yes, I don't know why I'm speaking about fences, but, well, whatever the case, hopefully they've got some good polish or varnish or whatever on them. These aren't wood, are they? Nope, they are not wood. They are incredibly metal, and, oh, let us hope that this Wookiee is not made of metal, because otherwise he's going to be very difficult to chew on. Chew on? Yeah, okay. That's bad. That's pretty bad. Well, whatever the case, we're going to be taking this guy out as best we can, but... yes, all bad jokes aside, he is now falling before us, of course. And who is this? Who is this? Is this actually a Mandalorian or something? Yeah, I suppose it is. Pretty interesting to see a Mandalorian actually working for them. Is it a Mandalorian, or is it some sort of just Republic or Imperial trooper of some sort? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Okay, well, let's head onward. I think we're going to be heading into the facility now. And we'll be heading on to the other set of bosses. All we need to do is reach the Revanite bunkers. All we need to do, yes.
There's a force field between you and that jammer. You'll have to gather a set of security codes to pass through. Signal's going to start breaking up soon. Talk to you when you get that jammer shut down.
Exactly, yes. A jammer, that's exactly what we're here for. But why not a marmalader? I mean, really? Where's the marmalader? I mean, come on. Where's the equality? There's no equality in terms of spreads, are there? I mean, really? I mean, can't believe it. Alright, so we have reached the final access station, and we're gonna see if Theron decides to update us. No? No, nothing? Nothing from Theron? Well, I'm a bit disappointed now, but whatever the case, what we need to do is deactivate the force field. Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's not some sort of grass field or anything like that, I think we should be fine. We have no lawnmower here, so... Well, I guess we could use a lightsaber. Why not? I mean, we have some pretty good skills with that, and I'm sure Kira is pretty good with her lightsaber. It's double-bladed. I mean, really. I don't think you could actually buy a lawnmower that's double-bladed. Can you? Can you buy it? Can you? I have no idea. I'm not an expert on that, but maybe we'll see a discount on that at some point in the future. No idea what I'm talking about. With terrible lawnmower references out of the way, we have now reached the force field, and we will now be disabling it and accessing yet another fenced area. Oh, yes, once again. Okay. Well, no doubt we are going to be coming across a couple of extra bosses, and, well, it's unlikely they're going to be as chewy as the Wookiee was. Okay, so we are near the fenced area, and, well, we're going to see what kind of bosses... Ah, yes, we have the Sith and the Jedi. I think I remember this, actually, but... Okay, well, let's access the area, and we have to defeat Master Obai and Lord Vod. Now, Lord Vod is actually a female Sith pureblood, which I actually really quite like. There aren't enough of those, in my opinion, in the world of Star Wars, or at least in the Old Republic, because, well, you can play as one, of course, but I don't see many NPCs that are actually the female Sith pureblood, which I gotta say is kind of disappointing. I mean, they actually look really cool when they're designed appropriately, of course, but I don't know, it seems kind of a bit disappointing. But whatever the case, we are being just tossed around like some sort of stuffed animal right now, and I'm not particularly happy about that. We're not any teddy bear, are we? No. We are one of those Furbies, of course. Yes, we are one of those Furbies. We're programmed to say the first 2 sentences over and over. Yes, aren't we? Yes. Fantastic. Okay, well, otherwise, I think we are almost done. And all we need to do is reprogram the AA cannons. Well, that should be fine. No problem at all there. And we're going to be reprogramming them to do what? Well, I think we're probably going to be firing at the... Oh, it's firing upon Republic warships at the moment. Yeah, we'll probably fire upon the Revanites, I would say. These anti-aircraft guns are currently firing upon Republic warships in orbit. You notice that the targeting parameters can be altered. Set to fire on the Revanite ships. Yeah, we're going to be doing that, because we are primarily light side, and they don't give you a third option, unfortunately. So grey will not be adhered to this time. And thankfully, they're actually dealing some pretty good damage, as far as I'm aware. Look at that. I mean, this one gun took down, what was it, 2 capital ships? That is a little bit unbelievable, I have to say, but maybe it fires such damaging rounds, and maybe the shields of the Revanite ships were down, but, well, I guess that's okay. I guess that's pretty good. Considering it was firing upon Republic forces, and now it's firing on the enemy, that's a lot better. Of course, we could have fired upon the Empire, but I don't know why you would do that, considering... we are all working against Revan together, of course. So, okay, a lot of astromech droids. Not entirely sure why they decided to give us random astromechs in the middle of the Battle of Rishi, considering they're standing right next to Revanite adepts. That's kind of weird.
Cuteness reasons.
Cuteness reason, really? Wow. Okay. Apparently we needed some R2D2 in this piece. Yes. Gangster, Yo, and Snoop Dogg, G something. Okay. I can't do that. I'm way too something. Yes. Probably not cool. Okay, so now we have a defeat Shield Squadron Unit 1 objective. Of course, we are going to be completely fine with this because the combat droids really will just do everything. I could go AFK right now and my combat support droid would do more damage than I am able to do, most likely. Yeah. Now, I'm actually unsure why they decided, of course, to include these combat support droids. Yeah, obviously because you want to be able to do the flashpoint solo if you don't have anyone that you can do it with. But of course, I don't know. I mean, it seems like Shadow of Revan was kind of a weird place to include it, but I guess it's because most of the content is flashpoint based, and that's exactly, in my opinion, the issue. And mostly the reason why I feel like Knights of the Fallen Empire is a better expansion, mainly because it is primarily story based, which is great, but the problem with that, of course, is that it is only story-based, and you can't even do it with your friends. So if you wanted to do it with someone else or a couple of people, you'd all have to go into your unique phases to actually complete any of the quest objectives. Whereas Shadow of Revan is completely the opposite, I suppose. That's kind of a little bit weird, I'd say.
You did it. I'm sending out the files now.
Republic fleet, come in. Do you read me?
Flagship Dauntless here, patching you through to the command deck.
This is Satil Shan. Do we have you to thank for shutting down that jammer?
That, and a whole lot more.
There are traitors hiding on every ship in your fleet. The Imperial ships too. They're manipulating the battle from both sides.
I'm transmitting the traitors' names now. They're part of a cult. The Order of Revan.
Revan? But he was killed.
Apparently it didn't take.
All ships cease fire. Open a channel to the Imperial commander.
I've been listening. As ruses go, this is quite creative.
It's the truth. Round up the people from Theron's list and see for yourself.
And if you're correct, what do you propose?
A meeting. Face-to-face on neutral ground.
There's a town on the surface, Raiders Cove. We'll send coordinates for the meeting spot.
Very well.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Ooh, I really like that. I actually really do. So I think I may take it back where I say I don't particularly like this flashpoint because it doesn't advance the story that much, because it actually does. It actually does give you an insight into Satil's thought process a little bit, of course, because Revan is technically a, well, shall we just say Bastila Shan and Revan, they were potentially a couple. And in the original Knights of the Old Republic, Bastila Shan, for your character, was a romance option. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. That is pretty cool. And it actually doesn't matter what side you play, either. It makes it easier if you play light side, of course, but you can still romance her as a dark side. So I actually feel like that's pretty cool. But whatever the case, we're now going to be exiting and heading back to the safe house. Okay, so we've returned to the once familiar alleyway, and it is far away from the battlefields of Rishi, of course, and now we will be heading on in.
Would anyone like some refreshments? We have several fine beverages available.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
All right. Off to a good start.
Master Satil, thank you for coming.
Of course.
The Revanite ships have all been scattered, captured, or destroyed. Their accomplices aboard our vessels are in chains. You found a threat and given us the means to root it out. Separately, what do we have to discuss?
Revan is still alive, my lord, and his plans don't stop here.
The Emperor's not dead. Revan thinks he can fix that, but he's wrong, isn't he?
No one person, not even Revan, can truly destroy the Emperor.
I struck the Emperor down myself. I saw him die.
You destroyed his body, even wounded his spirit perhaps more than anyone before you. But that was not enough. The Emperor's current state is nebulous, incorporeal. To strike at him, Revan will first have to return him to a physical form.
Which is exactly what the Emperor wants.
He will destroy Revan, then move on to the rest of us. In time, he will consume all life in the galaxy.
When he last tried, it was through a ritual that I stopped. How could he possibly repeat it now?
I would rather not give him the opportunity to show us.
We have to stop this. Intercept Revan before he can restore the Emperor's form.
The Emperor's hideaway is a secret, even to the Dark Council.
The fourth moon of Yavin. That's where we'll find Revan. He wanted me to join him there. Never said I couldn't bring a few friends.
According to our data, he still has extensive forces at his disposal. We would stand a better chance of overcoming them together.
No matter what evidence I present, I doubt the Supreme Chancellor will agree to any kind of alliance or truce.
Neither will the Dark Council. But my ships and the soldiers aboard them are loyal to me.
I can convince my troops to maintain a truce. They've seen Revan's threat firsthand.
Then we meet on Yavin 4.
Agreed.
Theron.
We can talk on the way to Yavin. I have some business to finish here.
Thank you for your help. All of you. This can't have been easy.
The conspiracy is finally exposed. We've been hiding our actions from our allies for so long, it's a relief to have everything in the open.
So we can talk about how you threw me to the wolves now?
I made a calculated strategic decision, and it worked, as we can all see now.
And if you had talked to me about it, I would have volunteered, but you didn't even give me a choice.
We couldn't risk the Revanites knowing that your capture was a ploy. You had to be in the dark for the plan to work.
Theron had a right to know the danger he was going into, Lana. You should never have hidden the truth from him. Or the rest of us.
The ends have clearly justified the means. Personal feelings are irrelevant next to that. I think it's time we moved on. Yavin is a long way from here.
Agreed. Let's get moving.
I'll see you there.
Safe travels!
Ah, well, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Okay, so we are being given a couple more crystals, and we have a better hat. Oh, yes, I actually appreciate that rather a lot. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for the better hat. And I suppose now we will blah, blah, blah. Yes. Yes, I can speak. I can speak. I can actually speak. Oh, yes, bet you can hear me now. Yes, I can. I can hear myself make mistakes. Wonderful. Use your ship to travel to Yavin 4. That's all I need to do now. So, I will be ending this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.